Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome to another episode of The Virtues of Islam, where we've been discussing the rights of brotherhood in Islam. We've been talking about the need for brothers and sisters who love each other for Allah's sake to forgive shortcomings that happen between us. In other words, as people who are together and those who have a companionship together or they live together, eventually, because people make mistakes, they're going to see something mistaken about their brother or sister, a word out of place, a mistaken action, or even a sin. When those things happen, but people who love each other for the sake of Allah, one, it should not be spread all over the place. And two, a person who loves their brother or a sister who loves a sister should move quickly to rectify the situation. It can be rectified with sincere advice. If that's the case, then the sincere advice should be given. However, there are times when staying away from your beloved brother does more to help him understand the wrong that he's done. And that there are times when staying away from your beloved sister helps him to understand about the wrong they've done. There are relationships between brothers wherein it's difficult for one of them to do without the other one. In situations like this, if one observes this from his close companion, that he has committed a grievous error in giving Allah his rights, and he knows that if he abstains from him, he will not like it. When he meets him, his face does not contain the usual friendship. He will realize he's committed a mistake or committed a sin. So in other words, this man has made a mistake, and his close brother is not being friendly toward him the way he usually is. Or he's not giving him the same amount of attention that he usually does. He'll realize that what he's done is not liked by his brother, and also for the sisters. Abstinence, meaning staying away from this relationship, is beneficial because one of these brothers can hardly do without the other. See, in cases like this, close business companions, if one stays away from the other one, he's going to need him. But he can't keep making that same mistake, which is a violation of Allah's rights. And the brother just take it from him, just tolerate this kind of mistake he's making. So he stays away from him, but he needs him. So this helps him to understand and inshallah to correct himself. Abstinence from this relationship is beneficial because one of these brothers can hardly do without the other one. The loss of his brother's involvement will bring him to the reality of his actions, inshallah. However, if abandoning him is not beneficial, then it should not be done as a means of rectification. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ used various ways of dealing with those who violated Allah's legislation. Some of them he abandoned, and others, ﷺ, he did not. For this reason, the scholars of Islam say boycotting someone, meaning abstaining from them, staying away from them because of a religious act that they have violated. Boycotting someone is used when the result is beneficial and is not used if it is of no benefit. If your brother's shortcoming is dealing with giving you your rights, if it's personal, do not magnify the situation. If you magnify the situation, Shaitan will blow animosity into your hearts. He will repeat the words of the event over and over within you. He will do this until he inclines the two of you to cut off your relationship, sever your bond of brotherhood, and sever your love between you. It will be replaced with abandonment and boycotting for the sake of this world, not for the sake of Allah. To remedy this, You must look at his good qualities and reflect upon your companionship and friendship with him over the past years. Look at the various situations you have experienced. Magnify his good qualities and minimize his shortcomings so that you can maintain your bond of brotherhood with him and not sever it. And sister, so you can maintain your bond of sisterhood and not sever it. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ once said, a believing man does not abandon a believing woman. If he sees something in her he does not like, he will see something in her that he does like. The people of knowledge have said that this hadith also shows this is how you should evaluate your relationships. You should evaluate the good and show the good more than the evil. And if the evil is very small and the good outweighs it, then a person should evaluate in that way and never evaluate only negativity. As some say, the person who is a hammer sees the whole world as a nail and just wants to hit it. But we, using the virtues of Islam, have a balanced way of evaluating relationships with our close people, our close companions, our close brothers, sisters who are close to other sisters. Evaluate the good, and it certainly will outweigh the evil. Another right that brothers and sisters give one another is being happy about what Allah has bestowed upon your brother. Being happy about it. Some people excel others. In light of this, it is your brother's right over you. If Allah gives him a mark of excellence, that you should be happy for him as though Allah had given it to you. So if your brother or sister has something that they're really good at, and good comes to them because of it, then you should be happy for them. Be happy for them as though Allah had given that quality to you. This feeling is a requirement of the bond of brotherhood and a means to dismiss the evil of envy. Negative consequences occur when a Muslim sees that Allah has given his brother something that distinguishes him from the rest of his companions. And he doesn't feel happiness for him. He might ask himself, why was that given to me? Why wasn't that given to me instead of you? Or he may feel inside himself about his brother, he doesn't deserve that distinction. Feelings like these corrupt the bond of brotherhood. Therefore, it is an obligation that you rid yourself of feeling envy and instead be happy for your brother and love him for what you love for yourself. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. And one of you is not a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself, meaning the good. The people of knowledge explain that the phrase لا يؤمن, he does not believe, means it's not complete iman. It doesn't mean a person has no faith. It means until one loves the good for his brother that he loves for himself, that his faith is not complete. So the meaning of the hadith is one of you does not have complete faith until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. If you would love to be the possessor of wealth, then love that for your brother. If you love to possess knowledge, then love that for your brother. If you love people to show their appreciation to you, then you should love that for your brother. This is the appropriate outlook. This is the way to see the many situations that you can dismiss envy from. See it like that. What you would like for yourself, if your brother has it, love him for that. That dismisses you to be envious of him. Being happy about what Allah has given your brother. Allah will love you for this outlook. And It is a requirement for a believer to love for his brother what he loves for himself, to be happy for his brother as though Allah had given this quality, this good thing to him. Responding appropriately to your brother's good fortune can happen in many ways. Among the things that Allah gives to your brother are wealth. Allah has bestowed wealth upon your brother, and you only possess a small amount of wealth, while he is enjoying honor and abundant wealth, and you find yourself amazed by the things he buys and by his generosity to others. You should praise Allah for placing him into that position as though it was you that had been placed there. You should accustom yourself to have the outlook that when Allah favors your brother, it is as if he is favoring you. Another thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to people in varying degrees, he gives them knowledge in varying degrees. The fact that your brother does precise research on religious issues, or he gives good lectures and sermons, he's able to have an effect on people based upon his knowledge, should not agitate you or make you unhappy. Rather, it is from the rights and obligations of brotherhood that you be happy about his brother's position, and that you be happy about your brother's position, and sister, that you be happy about your sister's position and possession of knowledge. And ask Allah to make him excel in this effort. Do not be envious of him because of it. Envy is a destructive illness. It destroys good deeds. As the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَالْحَسَدِ فَإِنَّهُ يَأْكُلُ حَسَنَاتٍ كَمَا يَأْكُلُ النَّارُ الْحَطَبِ. Stay away from envy, because it consumes good deeds the way fire burns wood. The seeds of envy can be planted if there are two brothers, close companions, and one of them sees the other as being more important than himself. He sees his brother as being able to command attention when he speaks at gatherings. He sees his brother as having status and strength. It is not permissible to have these kinds of feelings, meaning the feeling of envy. What he should do within himself is love his brother's qualities as if he loves them for himself and as though Allah had given them to him. Some people receive religious praise. There are people upon whom Allah has bestowed the gates of goodness through acts of worship. They fast frequently, and they perform voluntary salat often. Once an Imam Malik, may Allah have mercy upon him, was asked, "You are the Imam, you are Malik, you have status with people. However, we do not see you doing abundant amounts of worship, and we do not see you perform great amounts of salah, nor do we see that you fast often, nor do we see that you are a fighter for the sake of Allah, a struggler for Allah's sake." And Imam Malik said to the one who has mentioned this allegation, "Verily, there are some people for whom Allah has opened the gates of salah," meaning salah, making salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made them quite able to make many salats. And there are some for whom he has opened the gates of fasting. They fast much. While to others, he has opened the gates of giving charity. And others, he has opened the gates of struggle in the cause of Allah. There are people to whom he has opened the gates of knowledge. Imam Malik said, rahimahullah, "The gate of knowledge has been opened for me, and I am pleased with what Allah has given me in this regard." So he's not worried about the one who makes many salat. The door of knowledge has been opened to him. He wasn't worried about those who give abundant charity more than he has given. The door of knowledge was open for him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives what He wills to whom He wills. And speaking about Imam Malik, brings about, rahimahullah, brings about another quality from the virtues of Islam. We spoke earlier about avoiding argumentation, avoiding having discord between people, between brothers. There are times when it's necessary to be on the opposite side of a position from your brother. And sister, you will find yourself from time to time on the opposite side of a position of your sister. When this happens, it's necessary to show the virtue of Islam by having the ability to dialogue, by having the ability to have a sensible back and forth in a discussion when two people don't actually disagree initially. So what is a dialogue? It is an exchange of words between two parties wherein one party speaks and the other replies. Another definition of a dialogue is a category of speech between two people or groups which is characterized, which is described as an exchange of words that is done in a harmonious fashion, in a peaceful fashion. There is no attempt for one side to monopolize and defeat the other. The environment of discussion is peaceful, without argumentation or fanaticism. The word for dialogue in Arabic that is seen in the Quran, or forms of seen in the Quran, is al-hiwar, the dialogue. In our next episode, we will continue, inshallah, with this topic. I'm Talib Abdullah for the Sharjah Media Corporation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.